Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Believe it or not, this is the world's favorite place to go for podcasting and live streaming. It's the In Wheel Time car talk show. Ahead, Chris Harto and the new cafe standards. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. We'll have This Week in Auto History. Get you caught up on the stories making headlines. And I promise that this half hour, I'm going to have the review of the 2024 Lexus RX 450h Plus.
Hybrid
Howdy.
Plus.
Yeah, howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. You, sir, you're trouble today. I can see that look on your face.
It's all
we
rested
always
up.
need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Let me know when Chris gets with us. But you know what I think we're going to do, Jeffrey, if it's okay with you, let's do the car review while we wait.
Yeah, that would be a good idea because
All right, let me get her loaded up.
Yeah, okay.
Let me get loaded.
Okay. He's going to get loaded.
Jeff's gonna
Talk
get
amongst
loaded.
yourselves.
It won't be the
while I
first
get
time, I
loaded.
can tell you that. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
All
the
right.
Toyota Tacoma, right?
That's not it. But thank you for playing. We had a promo that we did this morning to promote the fact that we were getting ready to do the show.
Hence the word promo.
And Mr. Mars pulled a quick one on me. He pulled a bob on me, and put down a car that I haven't actually had the opportunity to review yet. So I said that, but that's not today's car review.
Oh, well, wasn't it the pro? Didn't we weeks ago have the wrong one in there? Something of that nature.
I don't
remember.
I don't know.
Okay,
No.
never mind.
But he's playing games. So at any rate, it doesn't make any difference. I think what he did was he made a mistake on the rundown that he sends me, and then he went, I'm just going to leave it in there, and I'll just put the real one below it, which he did.
And who read the teleprompter?
I read it, just like Bob did. Time now for this hour's car review. 2024 Lexus RX 450h Plus. Fifth generation of the RX line. This is considered a luxury, all-wheel drive, two-row, full-size, crossover vehicle, also known as a PHEV, partial hybrid electric vehicle. Seats, including the driver, 5 butts can go in there. All new for 2024. The exterior features include, although toned down a little bit, the front end can still be polarizing. It is that what they call the spindle grille look, but it's different. They've fixed it up, and I actually kind of like it. Did I say that?
Growing on you.
Nice body side sculpting, floating roof paint minimizes the large C-pillar on this car. Rear hatch has the bustle-style architecture back there. I had to look at that twice. I'm going, am I seeing that correctly? Mm-hmm. The subtlety of their styling is really cool once you start to look at it and look at it up close. Stylish upscale wheels. Overall look gets an A in design. Interior highlights include a classy, modern, upscale interior, huge infotainment screen. Listen, if your finger can't hit that going down a bumpy road, nothing can. Comfortable seating throughout. No more touchpad on the center console. Thank you. Cargo room, tons of space without the third row in it. This is only a two-row luxury SUV, and I mean luxury all the way. What I liked about it, steering wheel controls, pretty straightforward. So you don't have to sit there and try to figure that out. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, there are a lot of new cars out there that want to put too much on the steering wheel. There's no need to do that. Now, here's what the interesting part about this. This vehicle has a 2.5-liter four-cylinder plug-in hybrid electric motor combination with a total of 304 horsepower. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. CVT transmission, tow rating 3,500 if you're going to do that, but I wouldn't imagine. But it can. Gas-electric combination, miles per gallon electric, 83 miles per gallon electric. Gas only, 35 miles per gallon. The miles per gallon rated combination, 36 mpg. I got 37.5 miles per gallon over 420.6 miles.
And that's in thin air.
very thin air, especially when you get to 14,000 feet at the top of Pikes Peak, which I did on this particular vehicle, and it worked like a charm. What I liked about it, plenty of smooth power, believe it or not. I'll take one. Ride and handling, smooth ride and handling, top-notch all the way. The base trim price for the 350h starts at $49,000. I say this because my vehicle was a pre-production model and I didn't have all of the information on it. Now, the price as tested for the 450h Plus is $76,305. That's the price as tested. The base model price is $68,730. Yes, it's expensive, but it's not as expensive as the BMW X5 plug-in for $72,500. Another plug-in is the Lincoln Corsair. $53,925 is the base on that one. And just to throw in a gasoline version, Acura RDX is a competitor, I guess, $54,150. There are going to be more and more plug-in hybrids. And I would encourage you to do your homework if that's what you're in the market for. But I would definitely recommend checking out the Lexus RX 450h Plus. That's my review for this week.
The Corsair Lincoln, they're not making those anymore, are they? Or are they getting rid of the production? One of the Lincolns, it's either the Navigator or the Corsair.
All I can tell you is that that's the only one of the few plug-in hybrid SUVs available today. They're all coming up to the plate now and going, oh, well, we're not going to go all electric. No, we're not going to do it all. We're not going to do that. We're going to go with the hybrid thing. And I think that the hybrids are selling not as much, but I think that they're getting there with the full electrics because you don't have to worry about infrastructure and running out of juice. Electric juice, 200 miles away from home and there's nothing around.
Get an e-Bliss bike, 300 miles.
There you go. Chris Harto, Consumer Reports, and he is on the line with us right now. Chris, good morning to you, sir.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, it's good. It's good to hear from you, and thank you very much for joining us. And Chris is here to talk about what's kind of appropriate: CAFE ratings, corporate average fuel economy ratings, and there is somewhat of, or has been, somewhat of a disconnect between EPA and CAFE. And maybe you could explain that in a better way, because I know that there's a difference, but you go ahead and take the cake here.
Yeah. So there's really two rules right now that in many ways do similar things in terms of encouraging lower emission, more efficient vehicles. There's EPA, and then the Department of Transportation sets CAFE rules. Really, the way the administration has set these two rules this year for 2027 and beyond. Really, the EPA rule is the one that's going to really matter. It's going to be the binding rule, and it's going to be the one that's really going to drive change in the automotive market. They really set the new CAFE rule at a much lower level of stringency, so that it probably so that automakers don't have to worry as much about trying to finagle all of the unique aspects of the two programs to meet them both.
Yeah, because
so really, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because I remember when the CAFE rating started and everybody's going, oh, that's not that big deal. Well, then all of a sudden, all these cars come out and they're not getting too great a gas mileage, and now they got to take credits from the cars that they do build that get great gas mileage and combine them with the ones that don't get gas mileage, and then they also throw in there the fuel economy penalty if it doesn't get this many miles per gallon. It turned into a big mess is what it turned into.
Yeah, I mean, but it worked. It drove did. really significant fuel economy improvements. We looked at kind of the history of that CAFE program, and really just in the past 20 years, it's delivered about $7,000 in fuel savings to new vehicles. So that's a pretty significant chunk of change back in consumers' pockets because of kind of the incremental improvements automakers have made over the years.
Oh, absolutely, and I couldn't agree with you more. I remember the day very well when 12 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today, 12 miles
and
to
now
the
you
gallon
can go
wouldn't
out and
work.
buy a full size pickup truck that gets 24, 25 miles
Yeah.
to a gallon.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that was even possible?
Right,
you know,
and
20,
it
30 years
did
ago?
push the industry to get better gas mileage out of the power sources that they put in these vehicles, and also up the power. Four-cylinder engines used to be really might as well just go ahead and have a lawnmower motor in there, but they upped the horsepower on them, and they still got good gas mileage. And hey, I've turned into a big fan of four-bangers. And now I just had a matter of fact, I'm sure you've driven one with a three-cylinder engine, turbocharged, gets great gas mileage out of 3 cylinders.
Yeah, it's amazing what the industry can do when really kind of pushed by these regulations. It always looks really daunting when the regulations go into place, but when the engineers are pushed and given a goal, they always seem to deliver.
Yeah, it's a shame
and
that
ends up being great for consumers.
it's a shame that they had to be pushed, but I guess that kind of was the impetus in getting better gas mileage because they really had no reason to do it. Everybody was paying, 50 cents a gallon for gasoline and accepting 12 miles to the gallon. So there has been that. Okay, so what can we expect? I mean, is there anything really going to change now that the EPA ratings have kind of taken over?
Yeah, I mean the EPA standards are very, very strong. They're really going to push the industry. We're going to see a lot more EVs. We're going to see a lot more hybrids. We're going to see a lot more plug-in hybrids on the market. People are going to have a lot more choice. It's just that the CAFE regulations aren't going to add to that in any significant way.
Do you see the CAFE ratings going away eventually?
That's an open question. Right now, they're still required by law. There's a law on the books that requires the Department of Transportation to set those CAFE standards. So, I think they will still continue to exist as long as that law is on the books. But they're probably going to become increasingly less relevant. And one of the reasons that is the law that requires the CAFE standards also says that the Department of Transportation can't consider alternative fueled vehicles, including electric vehicles, in setting the stringency of those standards. So automakers can build EVs, they get credit for EVs, they count right now they count at 400 miles per gallon, 300 miles per gallon, but they can't consider that those vehicles exist when setting the stringency. So it's just hard for them to set a stringency that actually drives the market when EVs exist.
Sure. So, in other words, what you're saying basically is the fact that the CAFE ratings will still apply, obviously, to the mainly gasoline engines. And I guess that would be kind of a good thing because we don't want to go backwards in that. We've made so many big gains in miles per gallon in the overall CAFE ratings where it holds big manufacturers their feet to the fire, so to speak, and say, hey, look, you guys have got to produce vehicles that overall get better gas mileage. And I can relate to that, but I think that as time goes on, I don't think that that'll be an issue because I think that they're all kind of competing against each other and trying to get the most miles per gallon out of everything that they make. Don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll continue to see some improvements there. But really, a lot of the compliance is now going to be driven by, building more electric vehicles, building more plug-in hybrids, like you were just talking about, and again, we're going to see more regular hybrids too, because those are good solutions for some parts of the market.
Well, I think that you heard part of my review on that Lexus 450H Plus that we took up to Pikes Peak and got great gas mileage out of the thing. And I never plugged the thing in. Matter of fact, I don't even think that there was a plug available for me to plug it in. They just let me go with with the gasoline engine, and it seemed to take care of itself quite well. Little 4-cylinder engine that acted like a big boy V6.
I think it could.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, when those 4 cylinders can lean on the extra electric motors, they can give some real boost, real power.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, a luxury vehicle running around town, and if 35, 40 miles on a quick charge on that particular vehicle, for a lot of people that works.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then you don't have the range anxiety when you want to drive up Pikes Peak, or you want to
take a vacation.
Go on vacation, and they get really good gas. Many of them get really good gas mileage. Some of the manufacturers might be taking advantage of some of the incentives and building plug-in hybrids that aren't quite that efficient when they're on gas. But some of the really good ones are really good.
So, what is the latest take that you have on any of the CAFE ratings that came out?
Yeah, so again, these rules are going to be, kind of pretty low-key, incremental relative to what the EPA rules are really pushing. Those EPA rules are going to see, really some significant growth in electrification, whether it's electric vehicles, plug-in hybrids, or battery or regular hybrids. We project with those EPA standards, we could be up to 50% pure plug-in electric vehicles by 2032, which that's a pretty big jump from where we're at today.
Sure, and I can see that, as long as the infrastructure is there.
As long as the infrastructure is there, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of those efforts are kind of ramping up this year, and hopefully we'll see start to see both between the federal program and Iona, which is a new network being developed by about 7 automakers, planning to put in about 30,000 stations around the country as well over the next handful of years.
Well,
and then all of the vehicles getting the Tesla chargers as well.
Well, I don't know about you guys up there, but we keep getting threatened with brownouts here. Of course, Texas is a little bit different. We're not connected to the rest of the grid in the United States. I don't know, somebody's ego got hurt or something. I'm not exactly sure how this all came about, but we're not connected to what you're connected to, and so we have to suffer through, threats of brownouts. And all I can think of is all these electric cars now going to be plugged into this thing that is teetering on the edge of going out anyway. I could see the whole thing shutting down in the near future. So that's something that we have to work on here in Texas. And that may be a good story for you guys.
Yeah, I know Texas has got a lot of crypto miners and new AI data centers coming in, and they're hogging up all the electricity, really putting some strain on the grid. Hopefully, I think with EVs, I think there's, the rate of deployment is such that most utilities should have the ability to plan for that. We did some analysis showing that EVs might put about 1% per year, what might require about 1% per year growth in electricity demand, which is not insignificant. But not outside of the historical norm. But when you build that on top of, data centers going in everywhere, and some of these other loads, adds some complexity.
Well, Chris, it's always great to talk to you guys. Give our best wishes to all of our friends up there at Consumer Reports, if you would. We thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You bet. Chris
Thanks,
Harto
Chris.
with Consumer Reports on the new CAFE ratings. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and on InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Hey, you're on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Hey.
Thanks for riding with us today. There was one thing. Oh, I did want to mention the fact that we sure appreciate the hospitality, the hospitality, if you will, of all the fine folks up there at the Lone Star Street
Oh, it
Yacht
was a blast.
Association.
Yeah.
And the street state run. I'll get it out in a minute. The state run, the 49th annual, and I think hopefully we'll be back for the 50th
Yeah, that's
anniversary.
gonna be fun.
Up there at Hewlett
Can't
Park
wait.
in Granbury, Texas. And you know, if you've not been to Granbury, what a great destination. That'd be one of those things that, honey, you know, we really can't afford to go too far out of the state. Let's drive somewhere. We always went to San Antonio
Yes.
when I was raising the kids. And San Antonio was a great place, got lots to do and lots of things, and didn't have to spend a ton of money for summer vacation. But I was thinking, Granbury, that beautiful lake that they've got there, the great town square, all of the fun things.
Clean.
Clean, yeah.
Oh, my
There was
goodness.
one thing you definitely noticed. It's clean.
Yeah, very nice little place. And Highway 6 will get you up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That was a good ride.
That was a good ride.
Highway
Yeah,
6
and
is
it's
a good
really
ride.
not much further than San Antonio from here, if you really look at it. At least from where I am, I can go to either one of them in about the
We're
same
not
amount of
where
time.
you are, Mars.
Well, I know. I was just trying to relate that.
I mean, you can't-
Time-wise,
you-
distance.
But I would also say that, we hopefully next year, if we get to go, I'm hoping to be able to stay the whole weekend. We keep having
That
to
would
leave.
be fun, too.
Because Saturday afternoon, before we left town, we stopped to eat real quick. You could rent boats, pontoon boats, and all kinds of things.
talked
As
about
long
that,
as
yeah.
I don't have to pedal them, I'm okay.
No, there was kayaks, but I mean, there was really pontoon boats.
I ain't doing no kayak.
I could see the in-wheel time cruise boat.
The party boat.
Pork
Yeah,
chop.
absolutely.
Tie a pork chop around your neck and go fishing. There you go.
All right,
Chum the
time now
water.
for this week's auto history. Here's Mr. Mars.
This week, June the 8th, 1948.
Wait a minute. This is June 15th up there.
This week.
Yeah, but this
I
week
see.
leading up to
I
here.
got, okay.
Yeah. June the 8th, 1948. The first Porsche debuts as a Porsche 956-1 had a tubular steel chassis, aluminum body, 40 horsepower.
Wow.
And they continued to build this car in various iterations until the legendary Porsche 911 hit the market in 1963. June the 10th, 1947, the original Saab debuts.
Oh, God.
And they continued to actually make that model up until 1949.
I'd drive it.
You would. Of
I
course
would.
you would.
I
You know
would
what that
drive
looks
that.
like? It looks like from one of those cartoons from the Cars.
Yes.
movie.
Yeah. Cars movie, yeah. June the
Saab.
11th,
Tub
1986,
it out.
a 1961 Ferrari GT 250 California was starred in the movie
Ferris
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. They actually
Bueller.
they had one real car for that
Bueller.
movie, 3 replicas. And, of course, they didn't tear up the one car.
No.
One replica is in Cancun. The other two replicas, nobody knows what happened to them after the movie was made.
Wow.
June the 12th, 1971, the last Lincoln Mark III was rolled off of the assembly line.
That's cool.
That's a beautiful car.
That is.
It really
gorgeous.
is. I've always thought that was a neat car. And then
Lose
June
your
the 13th.
place?
Yeah, I did. I couldn't get the page turned. June the 13th, 1895, the first automotive race was ran.
Okay.
Now, this was only a handful of cars, and they decided to do this to help promote business and people buying cars and everything. Top speed, 12.42 mile per hour. They raced from Paris to Bordeaux, France in the race.
All right.
730 miles. And Jeff, for you,
Yeah?
this race inspired the founding of the Automobile Club de France and inspired the Paris-Bordeaux race that became very famous and actually led to the foundation of the Formula One racing. I knew you'd love to hear that.
Oh, yeah. It's in my memory bank.
And that's it for this week in auto history.
Thank you, sir, I guess. Here's some recalls to tell you about. Land Rover, Range Rover, and Range Rover Sport for 24. Transmission may shift into neutral while driving.
Oh, boy.
They could just stay there, as far as I'm concerned. Debris in the engine may cause a stall in the Lexus LX and the Toyota Tundra 22 to 23 model years.
What kind of debris?
I don't know. Some kind of, metal debris.
Cigarette butt or
cigarette butts in there.
chip bag or something?
That's what
Twinkie,
it is.
Twinkie cover?
Inoperative rear view camera display, the Honda Fit, Honda HR-V 2018 to 2022 models. Turn the page.
Oh, see?
Unexpected loss of drive power in the Nissan Ariya for 2023.
Aria.
Aria? What did I say?
Area.
Whatever. AREA. That's area. It's not the way it's spelled, but I made it that way.
There you go.
Ford Mustang for 2024, improperly secured clutch pressure line. So you press on the clutch, and the line underneath the car drops down to the ground, scrapes the ground. I don't know what it is, but that's my vision. That's what I could see.
Computerized.
Inadequate headliner impact protection on the Kia EV9 for 2024.
You got protection to keep your head from hitting the headliner?
I guess so.
Heads up.
Fire from overheated power seat motor in the Kia Telluride 2020 to 2024. That's being recalled. Loss of drive power or park function. The Ram 1500, 2500, 3500 for the 2023 model year. Did you see where Jim Morrison got fired?
Well, they said he left.
Oh, he retired. Everybody retires. No, they don't. Who retires?
No, I was
Unless
hoping,
you're 90, you
I
don't
liked
retire.
him, and I was hoping that he did that. He decided he had enough of that
Okay,
stuff.
well, let's go with that then,
Yeah.
if that makes you feel
It
better.
makes me feel better.
All right, fine. Dodge Durango, Ram 2500, Ram 3500, 2022 model years, disabled electronic stability control. Stellantis recalling 211,000 vehicles for a
What?
software malfunction in the anti-lock braking system that could disable the electronic stability control system. Covers certain 2022 Dodge Durangos, Ram 2500 and 3500 vehicles. Stellantis, by the way, has had 25 recalls this year, affecting around 1.2 million vehicles. You think that there's a problem going on there? I do.
He retired.
Yeah,
He retired, yeah. And
the
Volvo,
quality control guy.
Volvo recalling the electric EX30 because of a software issue. The problem affects almost all of the 72,000 EX30s. Might have an error in the center screen causing the speedometer to go into test mode when the car starts. Whoops. Never mind. Fisker. Do they even sell those things? They're not out of business yet. 18,000 Ocean crossovers in North America and Europe due to faulty software and non-compliance with safety standards. And let's not forget about the 24 and 25 Corvettes being recalled or a stop sale for the 25 model because of a problem with the seat belt latch.
See, doesn't look like a Corvette, so that's understandable.
Well, just don't wear it.
All right, haters. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for a quick break. And we're streaming and podcasting around the planet.
Everywhere.
Where are you?
Everywhere.
Look for us on your favorite provider. We'll be right back.
Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise in date right here on In Wheel Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6 or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Lupi's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Lupi Tortilla. Lupi Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.